This message is not for everyone. No. Not everyone will understand it. Not everyone will even make it to the end of this video. Because the moment you clicked, something shifted. You might not even realize it yet. But this was not random. You didn't just find this video. You were led here. And I know, part of you is already wondering, is this really for me? Stay with me. Because what you're about to hear might be exactly what your soul has been waiting for. Not yesterday. Not tomorrow. Right now. There's a reason you feel the way you've been feeling lately. That quiet heaviness. That confusion you can't fully explain. That sense that something is off, even when everything looks fine on the outside. You smile. You talk. You go through your day. But deep down, you feel it. Like something is missing. Like something is calling you, but you can't quite hear it clearly. And maybe, just maybe, that's why you're here. Because this isn't just a video. This is a moment. A moment where heaven is trying to reach you. Yes, you. Not the person next to you. Not the person scrolling past this. You. I need you to listen carefully. Because what I'm about to say might feel personal. It might even feel uncomfortable. But that's how you know it's real. You've been carrying something. For a long time. Something heavy. Something you don't talk about. Maybe it's regret. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's something you did, or something that was done to you. And no matter how much you try to move forward, it follows you. Quietly. Relentlessly. Like a shadow you can't escape. And there are nights when everything gets quiet. That's when it gets loud. The thoughts. The doubts. The questions. Am I enough? Why is this happening to me? Is anyone even listening? I hear you. Even when no one else does. Even when you don't say a word. I hear the silence between your breaths. I see the tears you never let fall. And I need you to understand something. You were never alone. Not once. Not in your darkest moment. Not in your weakest second. Not even now. Because I've been there. Every step. Watching. Waiting. Protecting, even when you didn't notice. There were moments. You should have fallen apart completely. But you didn't. There were situations that should have broken you beyond repair. But somehow, you made it through. You thought it was luck. You thought it was coincidence. It wasn't. It was me. Holding you together, when everything else was falling apart. And I know. You've been tired. Not just physically. But mentally. Emotionally. Spiritually. Tired of pretending you're okay. Tired of fighting battles no one sees. Tired of hoping, and then being disappointed. Again. And again. And again. But listen to me. This is where things begin to change. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Because the very fact that you're still here. Still breathing. Still searching. Still listening. Means your story is not over. Not even close. There's something inside you. Something you've been ignoring. Something trying to rise. But fear keeps pushing it down. Doubt keeps silencing it. And the world keeps distracting you from it. But today, that stops. Because this message is your wake-up call. Not loud. Not dramatic. But deep. Real. Unavoidable. You were created for more than survival. More than just getting through the day. more than repeating the same cycle over and over again. Wake up. Go through the motions. Feel empty. Sleep. Repeat. That's not your purpose. That's not your life. And deep down, you know that. You've always known that. You just didn't know what to do with that feeling. So you ignored it. You buried it. You told yourself, maybe this is just how life is. But it's not. And right now, something is stirring inside you again. You can feel it, can't you? That small voice. That quiet pull. That sense that something bigger is waiting for you. That's not your imagination. That's direction. That's calling. That's truth. And it's been trying to reach you for a long time. But life got noisy. People got loud. Doubt got stronger. And you slowly started to drift. Not all at once, but little by little. Decision by decision. Distraction by distraction. Until one day, you looked around and didn't recognize who you were becoming. But hear me. It's not too late. You haven't gone too far. You haven't messed up beyond repair. You are not disqualified. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are seen. You are known. And right now, you are being called back. Not to who you were, but to who you were meant to be. And I know, part of you is scared. Because change is uncomfortable. Growth is painful. And stepping into something unknown feels risky. But staying where you are is costing you more than you realize. Every day you ignore that voice, you lose a piece of your purpose. Every time you doubt yourself, you delay what's meant for you. Every time you settle, you shrink. And you weren't made to shrink. You were made to rise. Slowly. Quietly. But powerfully. And it starts with one decision. Not a big one. Not a dramatic one. Just a real one. To listen. To trust. To take one step forward, even if you're not sure where it leads. Because clarity doesn't come before movement. It comes because of it. And right now, this is your moment. Not later. Not someday. This one. Right here. Right now. Don't scroll away. Don't ignore this feeling. Because if you do, you'll feel it again later. That same pull. That same question. What if I was supposed to stay? And I don't want you to live with that. Not anymore. Because this message was meant to find you at this exact moment. For a reason. A real one. A personal one. And if you've made it this far, then you already know. This isn't for everyone. This is for you. And you're still here. That means something. Because not everyone stays long enough to hear what they need to hear. Most people scroll. They move on the moment something feels too real. But you didn't. And that's not random. There's something in you, searching. Not for entertainment. Not for distraction. But for something real. Something that makes sense of what you've been feeling lately. Because if you're honest, things haven't felt the same. Everything around you might look normal. Your routine hasn't changed much. You still wake up. You still go through the day. You still talk to people like everything is fine. But inside, it's different. There's a weight you can't explain. A quiet restlessness. Like your mind won't settle, no matter how much you try to distract yourself. And when everything gets quiet, that's when it gets louder. The thoughts. The questions. Why do I feel like this? What am I missing? Is there more than this? You've tried to ignore it. You've kept yourself busy. Scrolling. Watching. Doing anything to avoid sitting with it. But it keeps coming back. Because it's not random. It's not just a phase. It's something deeper. A signal. A signal that something in your life is no longer aligned. Maybe it's the way you've been thinking. Maybe it's something you've been holding on to. Or maybe it's the version of yourself you've outgrown. And growth like that, it doesn't feel good at first. It feels confusing. Like you're lost. Like you don't have clear answers anymore. But you're not lost. You're changing. And change feels uncomfortable. Because it pulls you out of what's familiar. It forces you to see things differently. To question things you once accepted without thinking. And I know that's not easy. Because part of you wants to hold on to what you know, to what feels safe, to what you've always done. But another part of you is ready to move forward, ready for something more. And that tension, that back and forth, that's where you are right now. Between who you were and who you're becoming. And here's the truth. You can't become that next version of yourself if you keep holding on to the old one. Something has to change. Not everything at once, but something. And deep down, you already know what that is. That thing you keep avoiding. That decision you keep delaying. That truth you don't want to face. You feel it. You felt it for a while. But you keep telling yourself, maybe later. But later keeps turning into never. And that's what keeps you stuck. Not because you're not capable. Not because you're not ready. But because you're avoiding the very thing that would move your life forward. And I get it. Facing it is uncomfortable. It means stepping into uncertainty. It means letting go of control. But staying where you are is also a choice. And that choice comes with a cost. The cost of feeling the same way. Again and again. The cost of knowing there's more for you. But never reaching it. And I don't think you want that. You didn't come this far just to stay stuck. You didn't go through everything you've been through just to remain the same. There's a reason you've made it this far. A reason you didn't give up. Even when you felt like it. A reason you're still searching. Still listening. Still here. Because something in you knows there's more. And it's right. There is more. More clarity. More peace. More purpose. But it doesn't come by waiting. It comes by deciding. Not a big, dramatic decision. Just a real one. A quiet moment where you say to yourself, I'm not going to ignore this anymore. That's where it starts. Not with perfection. Not with having everything figured out. But with honesty. Being honest about what's not working. About what needs to change. About what you've been avoiding. Because the moment you stop avoiding the truth, things start to shift. Slowly. But surely. You start thinking differently. Seeing things differently. Choosing differently. And those small shifts, they lead to bigger changes. But it all begins with one step. Just one. You don't need to see the whole path. You don't need to know how everything will work out. You just need to take the next step. Because clarity comes after movement. Not before. And right now, you're standing at that moment. That choice. Move forward. Or stay where you are. And I want you to be honest with yourself. Are you okay with staying the same? Feeling the same way? A month from now? A year from now? If the answer is no, then you already know. You already feel it. That quiet voice inside you. That pull you can't ignore. It's been there all along, guiding you, even when you didn't realize it. And right now, you're finally listening. That's why you're still here. That's why this moment feels different. Because something inside you is waking up. Slowly, but powerfully. And once that happens, you can't go back. You won't want to. Because even though growth is uncomfortable, staying the same becomes harder. And that's where everything begins to change. Right here. Right now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. This moment. So don't ignore it. Don't scroll away. Because if you do, you'll feel this again later. That same pull. That same question. What if I stayed? And this time, you did. And now, you feel it more clearly. Something inside you isn't the same anymore. It's not loud. It's not overwhelming. But it's there. A quiet shift. A deeper awareness. Like you can't go back to the way you were before this moment. And that's where everything changes. Because once you see it, once you feel it, you can't ignore it anymore. You start noticing things differently. The patterns. The habits. The things that no longer feel right. And for the first time, you're not pushing it away. You're facing it. Even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it feels uncertain. Because deep down, you know this is necessary. You know staying the same is no longer an option. And that realization, it's powerful. Because this is the moment you stop waiting. The moment you stop doubting. The moment you choose to move forward. Even if you're not fully ready. Because you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing. And right now, you are. That's why you're still here. That's why this moment feels different. Because this isn't just another message. This is the turning point. Your turning point. And what you do next changes everything.